Hello, everybody. Jello is here, Battle Rankings Live. Welcome to another live show. I am your host. I am here with my lovely and talented producer. Say hi, Ann.
Hi, Ann.
We got another very special show for you. And we are happy to introduce that we are planning some changes around here. And one of them is we are going to go full out 24/7 Blood Bowl. We are now your Blood Bowl channel. Everything Blood Bowl. We're going to do this unboxing of Season 2 and look at the orcs and the Imperial humans and go over some of the new changes in... What do you mean? What? It's all about Blood Bowl. There's the rule book. We're going to go through the rule book and talk about. No, we're not. Basically, you don't think I hit
Boss?
Oh yes. No.
No passes.
No. It's up. We're going to take it from the battlefield to the gridiron.
I think you're playing. You're playing.
Yeah, April Fools.
April Fools. It's April Fool's Eve.
April Fool's Eve. Well, the thing is that I hit every holiday. Why would I miss this one? Anyway, there you go. So
poor Keith on the other end going, what?
Yeah, well, we do have an SME today to discuss lists. But before we bring Keith on, let's actually go over the tournament schedule that's coming on up.
Did you want me to tell you about the song you played?
No, yeah.
All right.
What song did you pick there?
That was the fight song for the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. The Black Knights fight song. And,
is that cultural appropriation? No,
I don't think so, no.
Okay, just checking.
No.
You just never know these days.
The fight song's played through 3 times, the melody's played 3 times, and the second time they play it nice and quiet so everybody can whistle.
Yeah. Now you have a little story about.
I do, because when I was in the Spartan marching band years ago,
yeah,
we were in a now defunct bowl game.
What bowl game was it?
It's called the Cherry Bowl.
The Cherry Bowl?
Oh yeah, it was like in 1984. It was played at Pontiac Silverdome. It was yeah.
Oh well.
We played against the Military Academy at West Point, and we played their fight song for them. You know, because you do that. It's part of the tradition. You play that opposing team's fight song. And after pregame, after we played and after their band played, a general, as a 3-star general, came over to compliment us on playing their fight song correctly. Because he said most college bands do not play the fight song correctly. So.
Wow. So did you come over and go, by gum, that was the best fight song I ever heard played outside of the military academy. West Point.
I don't know if he did that or not, but I just know that he came over and complimented us.
I like the cut of your jet. Did he come out there?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
So anyway, there you go. So that's the song there. All right, now let's go over. Now
your schedule.
Now we'll go over the schedule, guys.
Now, you have to talk about my stuff first.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, I need to know the. Shame on me. I gotta know the order of things here. I'm just jumping the gun. We got so much to talk about here.
Well, after you were asking about Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl is an interesting game, though.
Well, don't take it too serious.
Yeah, don't take it too seriously.
By the way, it took me a little while to figure out what the hell they meant by a pitch. It's the field.
It's the field.
Yeah, I mean it's so European. Matter of fact, I see Keith over there chuckling to himself. Oh, everyone knows what the hell a pitch is. Not this yank. No idea. A pitch. I mean, that's what, 2 balls, 1 strike. What? Anyhow, I digress. So, our friends in Alabama have a tournament next Saturday in Huntsville, Alabama, Station Retro on the 10th. There are a plethora. No, my shtick is mispronouncing everything.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I don't want to step on your shtick.
And by the way, I will have lots of opportunity to make people angry about how to pronounce this. So on the 17th, there are 4 tournaments. So if you can't find one, I don't know where you are, because California, Minnesota, Indiana, and Canada. So something's got to be in driving range of everybody. So Pasadena, Rochester, Minnesota.
That's where the little old lady's from.
Yep. And Family Time Games, we're having something here. And then the Royal Canadian Legion. Okay. They are having something. They're hosting for their SK Saskatchewan, I believe. And the Vault, Gamer Vault, Canada is pretty big. And the I should post the comment. Yep, Canada is big. And the Vault, they're having pretty much they're like trying to do one every month over there in Delaware. So they're I know the last one they did was mid-war. This is early war. And then we skip to June. I'm sure some May will fall in, some Mays. As soon as we know, or you let us know, I'll put it up here. So you got DICON, which is actually a con. Oh, what's this that's entered the schedule? June 26th and 27th, Team Yankee Masters. I should have the location all wrapped up by next week. And the format, well, that gets announced after we figure out who's going to get there, and it always has some type of twist on it. So once we announce it, you guys will be the first to hear it, other than the people playing. And then we still have our NashCon, Gen Cons, Advanced Colors, CincyCon, and HistoricCon, which I'm using those as placeholders because eventually, they'll get them filled by something. So I know some stuff's cooking for all of them. And as soon as those people are ready to announce, I'll announce it here with when they are ready to go. So anyway, there you go. That's what we know so far. So things are picking up. It's getting pretty exciting out there. But yes, Patrick, Team Yankee Masters, yay! So that's kind of like why I'm wearing the shirt. Okay, let's bring in our Smee. Hey Keith, how you doing, man?
Hey, pretty good, Joe. Pretty good. Say, before you leave tournaments, we actually have one more that's not on your list. On April 10th in Minneapolis, we're running something that's pretty interesting. Certainly the first one we're doing. It's a Fate of a Nomination, or Early Team Yankee, if you like, where it's Fate of a Nation and Nom lists all together.
All right, now that sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've never played any of the lists from any of the books, but it's pretty popular here with our local players, so I'm going to go and give it a shot.
Where's that located at?
It's in Minneapolis.
Which store? The D6?
It's not a store. It's it's our location we have for hosting tournaments while we can't go to the stores.
Okay. So I'm actually typing it up right now.
There you go.
You just got Give them the address.
Oh, it's Team Yankee early.
Yep.
How many points?
70.
70. Geez, might be able to throw some Sheridans on the table.
Yeah. Sheridans, you can fit a lot of BTRs. Just like in Team Yankee, late, you can fit a lot of BTRs in 70 points. That's what I've learned.
Okay. Want this, hit that, and how's that?
Great.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm the master of the PowerPoint. Ooh. You know what? Chicks dig guy skills, size skills, nunchuck skills, PowerPoint skills. Anyway, so there we go. So if you know something, actually, no, I Team Yankee, anything that's past World War II will be in the Team Yankee bracket, just like early war, late war, mid war. It's all in the Flames of War bracket, if anyone's wondering. Okay, hey, so let's talk about. So what I did is I called Keith for two reasons. One, he plays Germans, and I'm like, oh, I want to get his opinion on some lists. That's good. And two is that we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary of doing this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after we do the list, stick around. We'll actually do some. We'll do some reminiscing about that. But Keith was my first guest on the show.
It's an honor.
Yeah. So we'll look back at those things and a couple other things. But we have done. This is our 42nd show. We've done 42 shows. And
we started right with the lockdown stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we started. So we did 42 shows, and we have over 70 hours of content between all of them. Some of it nonsensical, but the rest of it you can use. So remember this: if you like what we're doing, all right. Like us, follow us, with between Facebook and YouTube. I know we're on Twitch, but the Twitch, for some reason, only lets you keep a video up for 2 weeks. So it's not a good place to go for archiving. And I got my massive followers on Twitch. Oh, yeah.
How many you got now?
I don't know, 4. So, yeah, I know.
4 or 5, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Well, the thing is on YouTube, I have 409.
Ooh.
409. I want to get to 500. What does that mean? I don't know. There's some 409 people who really go, well, some days I just need to fall asleep and I want to listen to something that will do it. So this is a good show for it. I'm going to follow that.
I think most guys are sitting there painting their miniatures while they listen to you.
Yeah, I think so too. While you're painting or doing the hobby, you're listening to this up. Now, the thing is, you do want to listen to this show. You know why? Because you will get tips to improve your game. Because if you're not listening to it, your next opponent is.
Dun,
Dun, dun. So, if you drop out and sign back in again, it'll take one away and add one. So,
watch it all the way through.
By the way, when Recon wins games, I actually had my last tournament. I actually had the Recon win a game for me. They do win games, or what's this way, or prevent you from losing them. But hey, Keith, let's go and look at the list that we've done. We broke them down. We broke them down to 3 categories. List that you would be, I most likely be picking defend. Mm-hmm. Another list which is I could defend or attack or maneuver with. And another one which is basically just an assault list. Attack. So I say, hey Keith, can you put up some lists? Make 3 lists. I'll make 3 lists, and we'll see what we come up with. So we did that. So no further ado, let's take a look at our list. Oh, by the way, in each one, Keith, you're first.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There's your defense list. Defend it.
Yep, this is my defend list. So we have a Panzer Grenadier company. We have our HQ up there. We have 2 Panzer Grenadier platoons with the extra Shrek team. We have a armored Panzer Grenadier platoon, also with the extra Shrek. We've got the mortar section of 2 8-centimeter mortars and 4 Stummels, all within the formation. In support, we have our Recce, because Recce wins games, or Recon. We have Westbys, because it's the best German artillery, hands down, with an observer to help them out. 4 88s and a Tiger. In terms of command cards, then we load the 88s up with the pack front, and we took the 19th Panzer Division No Respite for the Panzer Grenadier Company to give us a point back for each unit that is in the formation.
And what the 19th? What do you lose in that?
That's the tactics.
Oh, so basically, just the tactics go to a 4+.
Tactics goes to a 4+.
All right.
So,
Which for your, I guess the only thing that really would matter is your guns, or the 7.5s. But
yeah, pretty much everything else is going to be dug in to start the game. They're not going to be moving, so no blitzing or follow me. They're going to be in their foxholes, holding on tight.
Holding on tight. What is, if you being most likely you will be in reserves? What is your reserves?
So the reserves is the Tiger tank platoon for 24 points, the armored Panzer Grenadiers for 15 points, and then the Recon takes you to 42.
Okay.
Or the you could, if you needed your Recon on the board, you could leave the 7.5 guns off instead, but that would be usually not the best. Usually the Recon.
Okay. All right.
And you set up your pack front 88s to cover the board with good firing lanes. You put the 7.5 gun Stummels in ambush. You put a platoon of infantry on each objective, and then you hold on till the Tigers arrive, and the other Panzer Grenadiers they arrive in their tracks, and you can get them where they need to go quickly to reinforce the line.
Okay. And basically, by using the 19th, you really end up getting it's the way to get a free unit, and yet basically pays for your 7.5s.
Yep. Or the pack front. You get pack front for free.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. So, and then the mortar section. I hear a lot of people ask, well, why would you have a platoon with only 2 mortars in it? 2 teams isn't really very good.
I'm one of them.
It's really there for rear guard.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So in most games, they'll hide at the back somewhere that they can't easily be hit. And then it's the first platoon that's withdrawn on rear guard. And you really don't lose much effectiveness from your force.
Yep. I've done the same thing.
There you go.
All right. Pretty cool. So you basically you got your pack front, which is wildly popular these days.
It is.
Yeah, and we got the reserve question answered, which is the Tigers plus like the armored. Well, the neat thing about the armored Panzers, you can just roll on in with those bad boys.
Yep.
And you still have the neat thing about having 3 infantry platoons is that you could put one on each objective and have the other one be able to, take it to the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Let's see what I did. let's see if I remember what I did. Oh, okay. I ventured out a little. I did the Storm Grenadiers, which basically they're Grenadiers, but with the Panzer Grens. Basically, the Panzer Grens by another name. Actually, hold on. I know we're in a delay. Hold on, I'm going to go back. Dan Neal asked, here Tigers with Lucky is better than SS Tigers without? I don't know about you. When I was building my list, I was trying to stick to the book.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was too, but actually, I often run with here Tigers with Lucky over SS Tigers, mainly because the Lucky card you can use for lots of different things. You can use it for a failed firepower. You can use it for a missed shot or a failed save. It's got a lot more utility than that sweet 2-up everything.
Oh, everyone likes that 2-up everything. What really sucks is when you take them on in and then you're like trying to push the objective with those bad boys, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I rolled a 3. Come on back, boys. Eventually, you'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll go to mine. Yeah, so I did the Storm. So you got the headquarters, the 17, 4 things of mortars. Also, I added the Pack 40s, Martyrs, Recon, of course, and Panthers. And then what I did is I added a third platoon of the Panzer Grens, but as the server band, 5 teams plus a Panzerschreck for 10. So because they always start on the table, now they become +5 or 5+ for morale, except for counterattack, they're 3+. But they always start on the table. So my only reserve is the Panthers. So
very nice.
Yeah. So the Patrick goes, once I had an SS Tiger with Lucky and still failed the 2 morale. Yeah, that's some days you go, I probably could have been at home painting the fence. Something like that. But what I did is I wanted to use something unique in the Bagration or Bagration or whatever you want to call it, guy. I know it's a guy's name. And so I wanted to take advantage of the server band, and have them starting on the table, allowing me to have more on the table. So I have my 3. I start off with 3 platoons of infantry on the table. My Martyrs, I would do my Pack 40s in ambush. Mm-hmm. My Martyrs can, move all over the place. The Recon I don't have to worry about. I do have rubber band. So yeah, I put them on there. And 3 Panthers, 33 points, boom. Got it. 105 ready to go on the table. It's not too many things to pull. Pretty manageable. I guess the rear guard. No, sorry. Rear guard would be the problem about pulling things off. But the mortars and the half tracks that basically just like yours, that they would go first. And then I would try not to move anything from the. It gets a little interesting from there, but I don't know. Well, it's something I just put together last night. So,
yeah, all right, looks good.
Yeah. You can can you use server band with Storm Grenadiers? Yes. because they're not Panzergrens. Even though they have the same weaponry, they're different names. So you can use them. That's why I did it this way. Oh, Rich is trying Bagration. Bagration. What is Bagration?
Bagration?
Own?
Own?
You sure? You sure, Rich? Anyway, it sounds like I'm from Louisiana.
Louisiana?
I'm gonna cook up some Bagration. With some Creole.
Sounds tasty.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story that for Ann and I, that's the last time we were heavily intoxicated was in New Orleans. I remember the year too. It was 2001 during the summer of. So anyway, was down there with some friends, and anyway, the silliness ensued. But I'll tell you what, those what are those donuts? The beignets.
Sorry, what?
The beignets donuts. The
Beignet.
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 Whatever. I'm butchering the English language today.
Beignets.
I'm on a mission. Beignet. Well, anyway, I call them 4 a.m. donuts. They were so good. Okay. Anyway, enough about that. So any questions about that? Okay. Then so the idea of this one was experimenting with using the Serbaban blocking force as part of it to keep as much as I can on the table for defending. So, okay. Now here's our flexible lists. So take it away, Keith.
All right. So my flexible list, I went for an armored Panzer Grenadier company this time. So we have our HQ in their tracks. We have a platoon of 7 teams with their tracks. We have a platoon without tracks that gets a Shrek. We have the armored mortars with 4 of them. We have 6 Stummels and 3 Pack 40s.
Okay.
In the formation. And for support, similar to the last one, we have the half-track recon. We have the Westby artillery. Mm-hmm. This time we have a platoon of Hetzers and 2 Tiger tanks.
Okay.
And then the armored Panzer Grenadier formation then gets the same tactics 4+ card to give me 6 points back, taking us to 105.
And I see you're using Lucky as your crutch card.
Yep. Yeah, it was a toss up between Lucky or an Observer. I wasn't quite sure which one to put in, so after several back and forth, I decided to just go with Lucky.
All right. Yeah, I get because you can use your headquarters to observe.
Yep.
Okay. So basically, what do you do? Do you make your 2IC the guy? He's the calling it in.
Yeah, you start with them together in one spot. You leave the 2IC behind, and then drive the commander somewhere else, and then he can spot from there. Give you two angles at it.
You can see that conversation. No, Franz, you stay here. Well, I'm gonna go see what the boys are up to.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
It'll be all right. It's all good. It's all good. If you see something, bomb it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
feel free. So, what is your reserves on this one?
So it's the Tigers, the Hetzers, and depending on what you want, it could either be the recon or it could be the armored mortars to get you over the 42 points.
Okay. All right, I see it. I see it.
And very similar to the last list. If you wanted to defend, you've got 2 solid infantry platoons to go on the objectives. You've got some pack 40s and some stummels, and to go with your Westbies to defend. And if you're going to attack, you've got lots of mobility. The Hetzers give you a reasonable number of shots that are good at medium tanks. Along with your stummels, you're going to be pretty good at dealing with the lighter armor, and then your Tigers will help you, take out the heavier hitters and assault something off an objective.
Okay.
And you've got 2 smoke bombardments with the mortars and the Westbies, so you've got plenty of opportunity to block off something that you don't want to face, to get you in close, and to get you through defensive fire if you need it.
All right, I'm digging it. Let's see. Let me see if I remember what the heck I did. I also did Armor Panzergren, but I did the 20th with that one. And let's see here. Hold on. Back about the Hetzers. I guess that's really a big delay. Dan says, I really want to use the Hetzers. Seems you guys are kind of down on the last video. Surprised to see him here. Well, that's why we bring in we bring in diversity. So the thing is, I really want to use the Hetzer too because it's such a little tank. And you just want to go under its little mantle and go, oh, use the little cute little tank. Who's your little tank? And but between the overworked, the terrible tactics, and the fact that it has a 5 cross, it's like strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. I so much wanted to use them. I so much wanted to have the model on the table. I think if you take away one of them, even if it was a 4 cross, I'm like, okay, I could do a 4 cross, but I just see just being frustrated by the unit. I guess if you had what's that guy? Well, yeah, right. The martyrs is Dean's right. So we were talking about that. The thing about the martyrs or Hetzers, they're both 4 of them are 16 points each. The martyr doesn't have the armor, but it has so much survivability because it's able to get in and get out. Because that's how the weaker stuff for the Germans survive is basically, blitz, shoot, and then come back to cover. Because if they can't see you, they can't shoot you. That's the ultimate armor. Okay.
Yeah. I feel too many 3+ though. So yeah. I'd rather have the armor just in case.
Right. But we'll take a look at this list here. So we'll see what I was smoking last night. So I did the 20th Panzer, so it got me a little bit more. I did. So I got the headquarters, guys in tracks, guys out of tracks. And then I did 4 Panzer 470s. And then the mortars, the 7.5s, the tank, the martyrs, the Westbies, the scouts, an observer, and I took a plane.
Ooh.
Yeah, the tank cutter. And I'm thinking, it can go either way. The beautiful thing about it, between the plane and the Panzer IVs, those are the only things that I have to worry about deep reserves. So I could go defensive with it, or I can go offensive with it. And so probably more like I want to go offensive because the 20th Panzer holding on to objective is a little dicey. We'll just say. So I'd rather try to push people off than try to hold on to something. But I have that. And here, the Panzer 470s being 36 points. That means I just need to find some points. So depending on who I'm up against, I could always put the 7.5s or the mortars, or the plane. It depends on what who I'm going against, and keep what I need on the table, and try to beat them off with the everything else. It could.
Don't forget they dropped down to 34 points with the card.
Drop down to third. Oh, right. Oh yeah, card 2 points, 4 points, 4 plus. Oh, that's only 40. Oh, good point. Well, anyway, like I said, I was working on it last night. I might have to do a combination or something.
Yeah.
The other thing too is if I'm finding a tank formation, maybe those Wests come off.
Yeah, for sure.
So, he says you thought I don't like planes. Oh, I do like planes. I don't like when planes come in on me. So the thing is, I like certain planes. I really like this plane with the 3.7, and the reason for that, if I'm in a tournament that's open, German armor is very susceptible to this plane because it's a 3. The Skirtsen doesn't matter because it's a 4+ firepower. So I have a 9 gun hitting a 3 side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Americans, 9 gun against a 4 side. And Russians, it's a 9 gun against a 5 side, but they're easier to hit. So I should get more hits in. Oh, look, everybody thinks like they're correcting my English, or my German or whatever it is. I'm going to call it little lady iron skirts. Okay. So, oh, don't hit us. Anyway. But then I include the lucky card because I think I had a point left. And I didn't want to do, tigers for everything. That was my thought on doing this kind of list, is some flexibility, be able to get in there. I have a 14 gun. I have 4 12 guns. I have the 4 9 guns, and yeah, actually, Patrick, we were hovering around 20 last week. I guess people are excited about Bagration. So, and then of course the playing with some 9 guns too. So, I thought this list had some flexibility to it. But anyway, that's just my thought on that. And I don't mind the planes. Actually, I think the American plane or the Russian Hinkle for 6 points is the way to go. That whole thing about the 5 cross check. You're just gonna basically just don't put them in the woods. I mean, that's what the 9 front is. Put them on hills or something like that. Basically, those guns take out the all the armor and vehicles, and the guys go in and try to push them off. Planes. Oh, the Sturmovik is actually a must too. As far as planes go. All right. Let's go with the attack-based lists. Take it away, Keith.
All right. Again, we have an Armored Panzer Grenadier Company. We have the HQ and 2 units with their half tracks, both with an extra, one with an extra Shrek. Looks like. Nope, both in there.
Yeah, they both have Shrek.
Yeah. Then we've got the Panzer 470 platoon, 3 of those. 4 armored mortars and the 6 Stummels. Then in support, we have the Recon, the Wespies, and the pair of Tigers. And I took the 20th Panzer Division card to get some points back to fit it all in. I felt like the counterattack debuff of going down to a 5+ doesn't really hurt as much in an attacking list. If you're not planning to hold the ground, then it doesn't hurt quite so much. So that's why I think it works if you're going to attack more so than defend.
Oh, yeah. Patrick points out something. He goes, wow, the attack lists look a bit alike. I think you have 3 versus my 4 Panzer IVs, 70s, and you have Tigers in there.
Yep, and I know why I read it wrong. The second platoon in the Panzer Grenadier Company is a recon platoon with the 7 small half tracks.
Oh, more machine gun goodness.
Yep, more DACA.
More DACA. Yeah, it's like you get a half track, and you get a half track, and you get a half track. None of the sharing stuff. Yeah, it's like look, look under your seats. Anyway, and you got the 9, which is always interesting with the 9 gun thing. I've actually taken out T-34s with those guys because you get so many hits. And
yeah, with the Stummels are great.
Yeah,
they're 6 of them will easily take on a medium tank platoon and win it especially if they get the first shot.
Yeah, it's all about the first shot. So once again, use the 20th, which reduces their tactics go to 4, but their counterattack is a 5+.
Yep.
So one of the things that Keith and I are texting to each other last night was the question about I guess we could discuss the card now. That what about things like the armored 7.5s, which has a counterattack of 6 on a regular card, but this says counterattack goes to a 5+. So there's been some questions to Battlefront on that. So there's been some things going back and forth, and I'm expecting something to come out and lessens the front. Now, me personally, I don't think it would get better. I would play it as it's a 6, still 6 up counterattack if it was in that position. So one of the things we might see is it might only reference the infantry. So doing things like we're doing here, Keith and I did it on my last list and this list. Instead of being 12 points back, it could just been 6. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it as is now. Play it where it lies and see what lessons the front comes up with. And Alan has a good point. He goes, wouldn't they be more reckless since they're missing an NCO? No, not necessarily. They would be like, why the hell am I doing this? I don't see an NCO around here telling me what to do. So let's get the hell out of here. They're just trying to save their skins.
Yep.
Actually, Dan, you're right. Still great value without upgrading. It is. I fully agree. That's what basically the getting you a free unit card is kind of what it is. But anyway, and did you say what you were going to do remind me what you're going to do if you had to do reserves?
If I had to do reserves, it would be probably the Tigers or the Panzer 470s and infantry platoon and recon, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, if you had to do that. All right. Let's see what I took for the attack. I picked a Tiger list. Why? Because I'm just trying to mix it up. So I went with the 2-2-2 variant of the Tiger list. So two in the headquarters, two in each of the two platoons. Added a couple whirlwinds, three of them, and recon, of course, Wespies, and then the observer. And by the way, on the observer, just a note, most the Germans offer you two types of observer, one in a tank and one in a half track, and then they're both a point. And so you might be asking yourself, why would I ever take the half track?
Yep.
Well, it's for deep reserves.
Oh yeah,
That's why.
there you go.
If you're going to go, I'm going to do a defense because my defend list with the West, I have the half track OP. I just wanted to point that out. So if I ever had to do deep reserves, I could still have my observer on there. Oh, and I also did the server ban on this one, but I did all 7. This is my infantry. So the 7 of the dudes plus the one's Panzerschreck, which is 13 points. By doing that, 13 plus 24 is 37. And then I can always put the whirlwind in a reserve also, or the West, something like that. Actually, I might do that if there's airplanes. I'll put my airplanes out there and take my Wasps off because they tend to be the first target of any aircraft. Hey, look, Wasps, attack them. Why do we do that? That's the first thing you learn in flight school. Right? Attack the lightly armored artillery. But the thing is, once again, I get 13 points on, which then this allows me to have 2 Tigers on one objective, 2 Tigers on the other objective. If I'm doing, like encounter or something like that. And instead of having 2 and 1 or 3 and 1, I think it's better to have 2 and 2. That was my thinking if I was going to do a Tiger list. By the way, we should do a disclaimer. Remember, we just came up with these last night, and these are our best guess about what we're trying to do as a kind of give you some ideas of what to do for list building. If you do take these to a tournament and you're very successful, make sure you thank us. If you do take these to a tournament and you're not successful, remember, we told you so. There's our disclaimer. Okay, so if you want to take these things out there and do it. By the way, I don't think there's really any of these lists are that bad. Wouldn't deep reserves mess up a Tiger list? Okay, so let's talk about that. Wouldn't deep reserves mess up your Tiger list? Well, I'll tell you what, they certainly would. But you know what? As someone who's putting down the attacker, mobile, or defend chit, you have control over if you're going to deep reserves. In this list, I would never, ever, 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 and let me do that one more time, ever put down defend. Because the only way you can get deep reserves is if you put the defend chit down. So if you put defend down, you deserve everything you get because you caused it to yourself. Now, you might be saying, well, but Joe, there's lists with the deep reserves on them on if you pick mobile. Yeah, except it's the guy who picked defend that is in the deep reserves. Because if I pick mobile and they pick defend, they still have they're in deep reserves. I'm not. I'm in mobile. So anyway, that if you pick a tank list, never pick defend. So that there's my I think I had a whole thing on missions way back when, which is in the archives. So you can go back and I think I was preaching that about how you can pick defend. Matter of fact, I also have a video of after NashCon. There's and Chris Fretz, Andrew Hobson, Chris Jackson, and Tom Burgess. And we're discussing until midnight version 4, and we were talking about that defending and deep reserves and that kind of stuff. And basically it says your opponent can pick attack and something force you into defend. Yes, but if I pick attack and say I had this list and I picked mobile, and my opponent picked attack. That's why I never have a rule book too far away. And let's go and look at that chart. So attack and maneuver. The options are breakthrough, contact, counterattack twice, dust up, and encounter. None of those missions have deep reserves. The worst thing that can happen to you is contact. Because as a defender, you are delayed. Your opponent is rolling for reserves immediately. So the only way you can get deep reserves is if you pick defend. So they could put you in defensive position, but none of the missions are deep reserve missions if you pick maneuver. That's the same thing if you both pick attack and you get breakthrough or counterattack. You still have to roll, but neither one of them puts you into deep reserves. I hope that straightens or that makes sense for you guys. Oh, by the way, I find a little, I don't know, maybe annoying's a little harsh, but when you're picking the attack defend and you're both access or you're both allies, it's a red on red or blue on blue. Just think of it as player 1, player 2. Player 1's on one side and the matrix, and the player 2's on the other. Because no matter what you carve up the matrix, it's the same boxes if you go one way or the other. Because if you pick attack maneuver, this top box or this side box, it has the same options in it. So it's symmetrical. Yeah, it's symmetrical. Is that a good word? I think it's good.
Yep, that's a good word.
So, yeah, I see. Hey, we're the same. What do we do? Oh, it just you're player 1, you're player 2. Don't read too much into it. But yeah, the only way don't put yourself if you're in a tank company, don't put yourself in defend. And by the way, if we play what did we learn, there's some things right there you can state. Okay. Anyway, so there I go. I'm learning. I'm taking the Servabon and the using that to minimize my 40% on the table, which allows me to have more Tiger goodness on the table in case I have reserves. Basically, the way you get reserves, I'm just putting out attack all the time with this list. And it's my opponent throws out attack, and I end up in a fair fight. So there you go. Is there anything else? No, just the cards if we had to refer to them. Basically, before we move on, does anyone have any questions about the list or kind of our thought processes? I was just trying to go for some of the unique items that how you can build or, thinking about how you can build your list using it. One of the things I thought that the Germans were missing was we'll just call it the cheap ass way to have more things on the table, where the Americans and British get
the partisans,
the partisans guys to have more on the table, which by the way is that is a must. I mean, for 6 points, having that on the table. So I have an infantry platoon that's on the table that's actually functional. Matter of fact, the Americans are even better because they have bazookas in their list. Well, Eric asked, Hey, what are your thoughts on a Panther company? It sucks.
They don't know Panther sucks.
Well, no, the Panther's fine. It's just a Panther company is way too expensive and way too vulnerable.
I think that in the Bagration list, it's a little better because you can take an infantry platoon as part of your formation, but it still sucks.
Yeah, you don't have as many tanks. Oh, and that plane, the plane I was doing for my what list? My plane will, fives versus nines. I mean, I'm shooting Panthers all day with that plane. If I bail you, it takes a 4 to get back in. I have a 50-50 chance of popping a tank or two. Patrick, Panther company versus a Panzer IV company. Wow, the bad. Okay, well, first of all, if there was a level of suckness, the top tier goes to the Hetzer company. Don't do a Hetzer company. Only do support, and I think that's the same for both of them. Panzer, I would probably do Panzer IVs over Panthers, just because I can get a sheer volume of them.
Yeah, more tanks,
more
shots
goodness
to kill you.
And then I might take something heavy and support, maybe like the 2 Tigers. But I also would take a second formation so that when my tank formation breaks, I'm still on the table and I'm not as sad. You're surprised. Alan says he's surprised I took Tigers over Panzer IVs in my list.
Have you watched the channel, Alan?
Yeah, version 3, I was all about the Panzer IV. Matter of fact, that's all I would take is just Panzer IVs, and make miracles work with the Panzer IV. But they're too expensive, and they just don't have the same pop as they used to in the old version. And it's more there's better survivability in a Tiger or a Panther or something. Okay, that's just kind of my take on it. By the way, this came back up. Copeland, Boston. I guess he was watching an old video and made a comment, and I saw the old comment, and that's the one about Panzer IVs. So I'm going to reiterate this. So it was supposed to be for nationals this year. There are none, so I'm going to extend it to next year. If you take a Panzer IV company and no other, formation, and no other formation. So it's only one formation, and that's a Panzer IV formation. And you take it to a nationals and get first, second, or third with it, you'll get $100 from me. And he says he's going to go up for it. I believe Jake Meyer from Texas is also thinking about it too. So I think my $100 is pretty safe.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a pretty safe one.
It's a pretty safe one. Yeah. Especially in a 5 round or a 6 round. It's like, no, you're going to find, it's like, my company broke again, yeah, it's just, I think it's pretty safe. So, now, granted, I did play a 70-point tournament, I think, or 78 or something like that, with a Panzer IV company, and won. Okay, I'll have to say this: I had to play my patootie off to make that happen.
Yeah, and 70 some points gives them less heavy AT as well. So that kind of stacks the field a little bit in your favor.
It did. And so by having less, they became the big boys on the block. 105 points. Oh no! Hey, look at those. IS 85s. Yay! It's like, okay, what do we do with that? Oh, look, it's a T34 85 company. Yay! It's like, oh, look, it's two platoons of 4 Achilles. So 8 Achilles on the table. Yay! Yeah, these are all just like death nails to a Panzer IV company. And the thing is, anyone who's pretty decent takes them somewhere, and all of a sudden now you're playing the upper tier, and people are going to have stuff for them. Even if you just ran into a guy with martyrs, the martyrs are just going to, end your day. Especially, hey, like one of these lists here that we have defending, instead of the what did Brian call his list? Instead of a pack front, he called it a martyr front. Well, the martyr front is 2 sets of 4 martyrs plus the that one guy card. What's his name here? It's the he was using it. Oh, the Von Socken. Yeah, when a unit leader is within 8 inches in line of sight of a formation commander, it passes its tactics on 2+.
Ooh.
And you may re-roll 1 reserve. That guy's worth every penny for a 4.
Yep, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, he's worth every penny. So what you do is that is the martyr front. So 16 plus that guy, and all right. Now what? It's like, okay, and especially if you get a place where you can defend, and the hill's big enough, and these guys are just like, and they come back down. Yeah. Oh well. And then always take a luck card with that too, just to make sure.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1. Hold on, maybe that won't happen again. Hey guys, get your questions out, because I think what we're going to do is I'm going to let me bring this up. Hold on. There we go. Yep. Okay. I gotta move some stuff around. So, hold on.
So while you're moving stuff around,
Yep.
Eric asked a question about King Tiger. So do we see much use for a King Tiger going forward?
It depends on the points, right?
Yeah, it very much depends on the points for it. It's probably going to be more expensive than an elephant. Similar gun, pretty good armor. So, yeah, depends on the points.
Okay. Let me show you this. This was actually my first live broadcast. I'm going to play the beginning. So, yeah, a year ago we started this. I don't know. Can you hear the volume?
No, can't hear the volume, Joe.
Live from cloudy Indianapolis, it's Joe.
We got Ann announcing me. Hello, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming. Yeah, my razor broke, by the way. So I'm going to start off with this. kind of just got a harebrained idea. If you're going to be home, you might as well do something. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to start with this, and either it could be very successful or a complete dumpster fire. I don't know. We'll find out which one. But the idea is that we just want to take a subject and with Flames of War, Team Yankee, and then discuss take that subject and discuss it in some type of thing. I don't know. I know they have those master classes out there, but if anyone says I'm a master, it'll probably be the master of evil. But anyway, we'll go from there and see what. The subject here is missions. Oh, okay. So so the first thing I did was missions. Sorry, I didn't want the feedback, Keith.
Sure.
So hold on, let me bring that down because we'll get feedback. Okay. So the first thing I did was missions. Hold on, let's get that.
All the hair you had back then.
Well, you remember you had to give me a haircut.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and my razor broke. No, I'm just kidding. I'm don't. Hey, do you shave your legs all the time? I mean, come on. But yeah, that was we did that. That was my first thing. Was then I talked about missions. So, let me bring this back up here. So, on the Facebook, I have a bunch of videos. I think I started with Toys for Tots that year. Did a couple things. Did the LVO, and then did LVO, some videos, and then I started the Facebook Live discussions. I started with missions, then movement orders, and then how to host a successful tournament. That was timely. Then I did a video about how to do terrain, assaults. But as we went on through, look, this is here's the first. Come on. Yeah, this is the first one I did with a person, a guest. Yep. And I know the time around here. And look at that wonderful. Hey, at least I shaved. The Masters players on here to talk about the army that they've been playing for the last year. I am now going to introduce a player who is right now the number one ranked British player in North America. He's a two-time national champion. He plays for Northern Ireland for the ETC for Flames of War. And here is Keith Gilmore. Say hello, Keith.
Hello, Keith.
Even with the tradition. Hey, thanks. So there you go. So if you're wondering, we've been doing the say hello, your name thing for some time, but that was back in May when I was bringing you guys in, and we were discussing Team Yankee books. Coming on. What? Yeah.
Look at my COVID haircut back then. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, it wasn't so bad. But we discussed all the Team Yankee out there, and I ended up with the Russians. Who did I have? I had Brian with the Germans, Fretz with the Americans, and
Kevin Morris
with the Iraqis. John Meyer with the West Germans. And then, of course, I broadcasted live from there, too. And then had a wrap up. And then I started with the British D-Day. This is where we did some rankings. We did some surveys and got people's opinions. And I believe, didn't you come back for this one?
I sure did.
Yep. Well, there you are. You're for the part 2. Yeah, there was so much information. We actually did it in 2 parts. Who did I bring in for the Germans? Who did I bring in?
So I did the Germans, and then
you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tom Burgess did the SS.
That's right. And D-Day Americans, I believe it was Fretz. Was it Fretz? Oh, I gotta go look. Who was it? Yes, it was Fretz. So,
yeah, and then they
the Halloween special. We need to play this one. So for the Halloween special.
What is this, a clip show?
It's turning into a clip show. I'm not too sure what we're playing, but it's scary music. And this is where Ray.
No way, which we are now renaming Studio P. Now let's look at all the booty we have around here today. Ooh,
that's right. We dressed up in costume.
RGB gaming keyboard. You can't see it. There we go. Look at this. Look how shiny it is. Truly, true beauty, better than gold, I say.
My ham, the son, the ham.
What else we got here? Oh, what's this? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we found a credit card. Yes, a credit card. See, the numbers are 1, 3, 7, 5.
all right, get out of there. Get out of there. Nah. Okay.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Because it is the Halloween special.
Well, hold on, let me move
It's
it.
our Halloween special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here's Panzer Ghost.
You know what? I'm tired of this.
Or villain.
Here we
You know
go.
what?
Did someone say panzers?
Oh my god.
Oh no!
This is the first time we met Panzer Ghost.
Oh. What is this? It's like my computer screen is all like it's haunted.
Oh, yeah. I should
I
have
am
got.
wanting you because
I
you
should have
don't
got
like
an Emmy for
panzers.
this.
I am the Panzer Ghost.
Yes. Oh, well, Mr. Panzer Ghost, I really do like Panzers. I just, unfortunately, the Panzer IV in the game of Flames of War, it's not highly rated.
Not highly rated. Well, I figured, you know what? I'm tired of this anyway. You know what I would rather do rather than be a mascot for a bunch of stupid panzers?
What's that?
I want to tell jokes.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you say jokes?
I said jokes.
Oh, well,
Okay.
okay.
There's bad dad jokes.
Kind of jokes do you want to do?
Well, let's see. During World War II, what do you call a blind German?
I don't know. What do you call a blind German?
A Nazi. Nazi? Get it?
Oh, boy.
Nazi.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, are you going to go touring
Oh, hold on.
with this information?
So I'm setting you up for the
European?
jokes. Oh,
Because, you already toured Europe
What's that?
once.
Never mind. But, do you know, one time someone asked me who won the Tour de France. Do you know who won the Tour de France?
No, I don't know.
The 5th Panzer Division.
Oh, boy.
okay. All right. So that's when we brought in Panzer Ghost with the bad. Yeah. Oh, and Patrick gets it. Yeah. He says, "Get it." Yes. That Patrick. I'm glad you got onto that because I don't. Yeah. Get it. Yeah. that is a shtick. But yeah, so we brought in. That's when we first met Panzer Ghost. Oh yeah, and then the following week I said I wasn't going to do the show, but I ended up almost doing 3 hours of open line Monday, where I had people just who just came in, and I brought them on to talk to them. Soviet Bagration. Then we had Masters, did all that. Thanksgiving Day, talked about terrain, the Toy for Tots update. Yeah, it's just a lot of information here. Eventually talked about the new Soviet book. Oh, the Hero Shock versus the Hero Motor Rifle. By the way, if you haven't seen this one, the one with I did with Lieutenant Colonel Kennedy about aircraft, that was good. So the aircraft was great. He brought a lot of information in. Then I talked about the winner of Toys for Tots, and then list building, some rules, and of course we end up here. So yeah, we've done 42 episodes, over 70 hours of content. And I've mentioned before, if you're not listening to it, your opponent is. So, because I am giving you my advice from all the years I've been playing. And I like to think that I've been successful in doing this game. So, just a little bit, right? Yeah, not to toot my belt, but I have more wins than anyone else. I got 3 nationals under my belt. The only thing that's eluded me so far is the Masters. I don't know. One day, I've had a second and a couple thirds and a lot of middle of the packs. But anyway, who knows? Well, maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. One could always dream. Yes. What would that Masters plaque look like? But anyway, that's what we got here. So yeah, this is our 42nd show, and people and one of the things that makes it successful is people like Keith that come on here and provide their wisdom for all you guys, because it's just not me yammering at you, though I do that a lot. It's I bring my SMEs in. Yeah, and like I said, this is a different type of show. We try to bring some humor into it and liven it up. We're not all serious, but we also try to bring you stuff that hopefully improve your game. Anyway, let's. I think Keith, you got anything you want to add?
No, it's always fun to come here and talk Flames of War for a while.
Yeah. I'll do one of these things. Let's do what did we learn? Anne, did you learn anything today? No, you didn't learn anything today. No.
Other than you had a lot more hair back when we started.
Well, it's because I could see it.
Because we couldn't cut your hair.
You couldn't cut your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not that hard. Anyway, Keith, did you learn anything today?
I learned that there are 42 of these shows and over 70 hours of content.
Yeah. How about you guys out there that are watching? What have you guys learned? Oh, here we go. Yeah, the 18-9 planes are good, especially with Russian Panthers. Yes, they are good. Yeah, actually, it's a good way. Oh, yeah. If you took that 18-9 against a Russian Panther, you are probably getting 4 shots, 3 tanks. You're probably getting 3 hits. And, 1 on each. they blow it, you have a 50-50 chance of taking out a tank. Yeah, basically
Kill
9
one of
points.
them.
Yeah, kill one of them. 9 points taking out. Well, I guess it's 9 points taking out a 7, but that's something that you're taking out a panther. Now you might take out 2 panthers. I don't know. You'll eventually wear them away after a couple rounds. Once you get them down to 2 tanks, they tend to run. Eric learned, this should be interesting. I learned panthers still suck. Not as bad as Panzer IV companies, and it makes me a sad panda. Well, we don't want sad pandas. You could still play those things and have fun with them. You just probably might run into a little bit of frustration of you just don't have enough on the table, and there's too many things out there that can really ruin your day. And the other thing about a panther is if that's the only thing you have on the table, how are you going to assault that infantry with the guy with like a couple bazookas or the RPG card? You know, it's things like that just make it a bad day for the panther. So
For sure.
yeah, because if you're doing Russian artillery, Russian infantry, there's 2 things you need: RPG card for every infantry platoon out there, and the Russian Panthers. Matter of fact, the Russian Panthers are better than the German Panthers.
They are.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Yep. What else? Anyone else learn anything interesting out there? Well, did I learn anything? I'm sure I did. Because you know what, Keith, to make your day complete, you should learn one thing and make someone laugh.
Ah.
Yeah. What did I learn? I learned we had 42 shows and 70 hours of content.
I already took that one.
I know. I had to add it up. I'm like, wow, man, I did 42 shows. Jeez, Pete, I need a life. It's actually not that bad. I mean, I put on Sunday night, I put a little time into it and go, boy, you know, Ann and I start discussing. She goes, hey, what are we going to do for that stupid show? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I got to figure out something. And else I got some brainstorm. You know, hey, you know what's really the hot topic? This. Yeah.
Here's something else that I learned, Joe.
Okay.
As I worked through the lists and I furiously typed away last night that I don't think that the Bagration gives us anything to beat out the D-Day German lists.
Oh, you still think DJ Germans are way to go? I'm gonna kind of lean that way too, to the fact that I have the Panzerfaust is an option, and I don't have to add it to my HQ because I what's 2 guys going to do? And they're using it. That's pretty bad. So I could save 2 points that way, and it's always like I can always use another point somewhere just to get something really cool that fits, or I get some like 2 really schlock pieces that I don't really want on the table. So anyway, that's what is this? The Konschirken is nice.
Von Socken, I think he means.
Oh, Von Socken.
Von Socken, yeah.
Yeah, Von Socken's the way to go. I'm like, Socken, is it like someone making fun of my speaking? I'm like, oh, Von Socken. No, this is typo.
Yeah. Yeah, and Derek, you're on. I can't wait till we get back to Adepticon. You're right.
Oh, yeah, this is Keith, nice. Can't wait for a rematch when Adepticon restarts. Dana.
Interesting fact, Joe.
What's that?
Interesting fact with Adepticon just passing this week. I'm now the reigning Adepticon champion for 3 years in a row.
It's just 1 year repeated 3 times. Jeez. Dan, the lack of downgrading 88s is painful compared to Bagration anyway, to D-Day, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess, shaving off 4 points. I'm hit on 3s versus 4s. I'd still prefer to be hit on 4s than 3s with those guys. Well, because 3s become 4s because of concealing terrain. 4s become 5s. But
Yeah.
I'll still find a way to lose them.
Yeah, I think the biggest one for me is the D-Day infantry platoons get 3 Shreks, up to 3 Shreks each. And to me, for as a defensive player, that's a big upgrade.
Yeah, because there it is. Let me bring my chart in. So, it helps if I share the right thing. Hold on, hit that. Stop this. Share that. Share screen. Bring in PowerPoint. Allow. Boom. See, just knowing how to use your keyboard. Yeah, because the Bagration Max Panzer Shreks are 1, and on the D-Day it's 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta get this published. I was going through and double checking my numbers and working on this, so I just want to make sure everything's right before I put it out. But this is where I got this chart or working on this chart. But yeah, you adding 3. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. Throw that out there and add 3, and then 116 them. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost like you get a Panzer Shrek for free.
Exactly.
Discounts. Eric throws in. He has a free plane ticket. Is that like to go somewhere that didn't happen? So yeah. Anyway, I think also we're also 6 months away from something also very important. You want to cue up the music?
Oh, what, the beer?
Yep.
Okay.
What's important, Keith, is that 6 months from now is Oktoberfest.
Hey.
Yep. And so why don't you go ahead, cue it up. We're going to do the Oktoberfest song in anticipation for 6 months from now. So we're doing Germans. Oktoberfest is right around the corner. And here comes the beer drinking song. There's no beer in heaven. That's why we drink it here. There's no beer in heaven. So we drink, yeah. So when I go to heaven, all my friends will be drinking the beer. Oh, the gals come on in. I like the tuba in there. Unser beer. That's why we drink the beer. Whoa, look at that bass. I wonder, do you have the translation for this section?
No, I don't.
It just sounds like a good time, you know?
It does.
I can imagine a beer garden, the beer flowing. Because, those busty gals that are bringing the steins of beer, somehow they're able to hold a whole bunch of them in their hands. It's like, they got a whole enough for the whole table. Here's 24 steins. Boom. That's
magic.
Talent. The ladies are into it. Ooh. Yeah. That's why we're drinking here. Yeah, when I'm in heaven, my friends will drink it here on here. I think with that, everybody, a big wrap up. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Happy
Bye.
Happy. Oh yeah, right. Happy Easter.
Easter.